Okay, so this is pretty wild.
I hope you're well. So I am very late to the 3D printing party, but that was the moment when everything just clicked for me. It was the first time that I'd drawn up anything more complex than a cube with rounded corners, and it had taken about 3.5 hours to print this flat piece of plastic with holes in it. But this was also the first time that I'd held something in my hands that I previously had manufactured, but that just a few hours before had been nothing but an idea, a drawing, and a spool of filament. Let's back up a little. Last year I bought a BambuLab P1S 3D printer, and I did a quick video about the setup process from a total novice's point of view. Full disclosure, I am new to 3D printing, but I had previously owned a 3D printer, an Ender something or other, that I gave away after about 18 months with the box unopened because of the scary stories people kept telling me about how tricky they were to set up and keep running sweetly. I don't know how much truth there was in those stories, but that, along with my complete absence of a 3D gene, was enough to put me off the idea. Until last year, anyway. I got through the setup and printed out the benchy tugboat thing, and I'll be honest, I was pretty much ambivalent about the whole process. Yes, it's a real box of tricks, as my dad used to say, but I just didn't quite know what to do with it. I knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to download and print stuff that other folks have posted online, so I was a little bit stuck. Earlier this year, though, Axminster Tools were generous enough to include me in a tour of their head office and manufacturing facilities in Devon. And one of the things that really struck me was how they were using 3D printing to prototype products. They had a range of new hand planes they were showing, and the development of the size of the plane bodies, the shape and position of the handles, it was all done, initially at least, on 3D printers. Now, I have a little product business with jigs and templates. There's a new one coming along soon, by the way. And I've got to be honest, it had never occurred to me that the 3D printer that I have, the BambuLab's P1S, the most off-the-shelf domestic desktop machine you could imagine, it just hadn't occurred to me that it would be capable of prototyping or even manufacturing products. Now, the CAD side of things, the 3D drawings, has long been my personal kryptonite, but I've always been happy to fail spectacularly, so I gritted my teeth and dived into a year's subscription to Shaper 3D, the only CAD package that I've been able to make any sense of. 10-Minute Workshop Plus member Paul in Chicago put it perfectly when he said that it was CAD made for creatives, not engineers. So I signed up for a year, which, by the way, cost me less than I pay to get Champions League football on my TV and is arguably a lot more satisfying. I paid for the software and I started making mistakes, lots of them, but always learning. I'd tinkered around with the usual bench dogs and things. I'd made wall brackets to hang stuff off. I'd found that you can calibrate the printer to get more accurate results. That was a revelation, being able to consistently work to a few hundredths of a millimeter. And it turns out that my three-dimensional genes weren't missing. They were just hidden, a little bit like my wisdom teeth. And then I had an email from Colin in Australia. Colin had one of my early plywood loose tenon jigs, still working great, but a few years old now, and it had been dropped a few times and was a little battered around the edges. Colin fancied one of the new loose tenon jig 30s, but the cost of shipping almost a kilo of finely machined compact mel to Australia, about £25 just in shipping alone. The cost of that was what was putting him off making the purchase. Well, that and the exchange rate probably. But Colin had also just bought a 3D printer and wondered if I'd considered selling the files to the loose tenon jig. Well, no, I hadn't, but mostly because I'd designed it in 2D. I sent those drawings to my CNC guys who translated them into Vectric or whatever they use. They'd machine a sample and send it back to me. I'd then make some changes, send them another drawing, and this would continue. Yes, it was a very efficient process. Thank you for noticing. But now I had some modest CAD competence, and to be fair, I was very familiar with the product. I started drawing this up in the early afternoon, and as we saw at the start, by 7 o'clock-ish in the evening, I had a tangible thing in my hand that was a near perfect representation of what I'd drawn. What I'd drawn, of course, was full of silly mistakes, but they were easy to change and iterate on, and within a few more hours, I'd have a hard copy of the next version. Now, I know a few folks get hung up on print times with 3D printers. I did myself before I got into it, but you don't have to stand and watch it print. You can just leave it to do its thing, and you get a notification on your phone or watch when it's done. Smaller prints are faster too, of course, and when I made the little adapter blocks for the drill press friends, the knobs that I had on hand were a bit too big, so I actually made perfect sense to spend 20 minutes or half an hour printing my own versions, because then I could get them in exactly the size and shape and color that I wanted. Now, I am still an absolute novice at this, though fortunately I've been able to draw on the experience of the 10-Minute Workshop Plus members who've been doing this for a lot longer than I have. But for what it's worth, my experience of the P1S is that it's like BambuLab have succeeded in making a 3D printing appliance. You don't need any specialist knowledge to be able to use it. I've only ever used BambuLab filament that has RFID tags in it that tells the machine what type it is, so it's pretty much impossible to get that wrong. I've printed just using the preset defaults in the supplied software, and so far I haven't had a single spoiled print in all the time that I had it. Whether that's a testament to the robustness of the ecosystem, the simplicity of what I've been printing, or just plain beginner's luck, I don't know. But I do know that a number of 10-Minute Workshop Plus members have had similar experiences with these machines at every level, from the £170 or so A1 Mini to the P1S that I have. Here's the thing though, I'm about as interested in 3D printers as I am in laser printers. That's not very much at all, but I am fascinated now that I've seen firsthand what a 3D printer can do. The 3D printable version of the 10-Minute Workshop Loose Tenon Jig is currently in testing with Plus members. Colin in Australia has successfully printed one already, and as soon as I'm sure that the files all work well on a variety of machines, I'll be making this available in the store at 10minute.shop, where there'll be a new printables category alongside products and plans. What the 3D printer has done for me though is to release the backlog of product ideas that I've had over the last couple of years. Ideas that are pretty much fully formed in my mind, and sometimes as bits of plywood or MDF prototypes, but without the means to produce them. They've just been stuck as ideas. Now I have a personal manufacturing cube on my desktop. Those ideas can be transformed into actual prototypes, into actual functioning products that are exactly the size and shape and color that I want. This is the real revelation for me, and it takes me back to my teenage photographic days in the darkroom, watching an image appear from a blank piece of paper. That same kind of magic, except this is a fully functioning product appearing one layer at a time. If you're at all on the fence about 3D printers, I'd encourage anyone to give them a go. If you've got any comments, any questions, leave them in the box down below. There's lots more to come on this, so be sure to hit subscribe if you're new here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Right, take care.